You want me to work here?
Well, it is an option until something better comes along.
No, thanks.
Well, it's an option.
No, thanks.
I said I got you the shirt as a gift. Why don't you keep it?
I'd rather you have it.
It's a gift.
I don't want it.
Keep the shirt or get a damn job.
I'll die before I work at Bray Vista.
There he is, Tim Carlson. Young Drug Punk debuts on Citytv next week. I'm listening to the title, Tim, and I'm thinking this is a coming-of-age story, like Boyhood with a twist, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. These two guys have just graduated high school. They live in small-town Calgary, and they just want to get out, but they don't really know how, and they don't have a lot of life experience.
And boy, do they get some. I saw the first episode, and shenanigans and tomfoolery all over the place. And, of course, you just saw Bruce McCullough in that clip right there.
Yeah.
He's the creator, writer, and exec producer for this show, Kids in the Hall, great fame in this country. How did you connect with Bruce? How did you land this role?
Yeah, I auditioned for it back in July, and then I got a call back while I was actually doing an improv festival in Edmonton, and I had to fly back to Vancouver to do the callback, and then I had to fly back to Edmonton to do another show, then back to Toronto to test for it, and then back to Edmonton to finish out the run of the festival, which was pretty crazy. But I think Bruce and I definitely clicked a bit on that level, doing improv comedy and stuff like that.
What's the first thing he said to you when you met him?
He actually said, he asked me where I was from. I said, I'm from Victoria originally, and he said, the gentle people.
Yeah.
Didn't really know what that meant, but I definitely laughed, and and yeah, it was pretty good.
You got a great bond. Now, when we look at the show, what do you think is going to be the standout? Anytime you have a new series, to have it stick with people, what do you think people are going to connect with?
I think the style of the show, and I think the story is very universal, especially with young people now, not really knowing what to do, especially right after high school. I know I didn't know what I was doing, and it took me a little bit to figure that out, and I think people will definitely resonate with that. And the style of the show is so much fun. It's set in the 80s, and the costumes are just wild. And a lot of it is actually inspired by what Bruce used to actually wear. Things like he would put a little bit of fake linoleum on the end of his shoes just to stand out a bit. He was definitely the oddball in Calgary.
And watching the show, there's these great sound moments where it kind of channels the magic that was Kids in the Hall. It can't help but make you nostalgic. Did you watch the show? Did you go into the archives to study what Bruce did?
I definitely did. I grew up watching bits and pieces of it when I got a little bit older, and I definitely rewatched it when I was a bit older because I love comedy. And there's definitely those undertones of a little bit of absurdity, especially in some of the later episodes. It gets a little wild, and the music is really great for that. We have a great composer who's actually based out of here, which is really cool, doing all the sort of filling out all the sound and things like that.
And what's the secret for improv when you got a guy like Bruce McCullough right in front of you to make the scene work and you hold your own?
Yeah, you just roll with it. Especially he was great at finishing a scene with he would come up with the best lines on the spot. It was fun. We had a lot of nice moments of improv on the set. I mean, it was a really well-written show, so we didn't need a lot, but there was definitely moments where we would just run with it. And we would do a few takes of a scene, and his end line would be different every time, and each one would be hilarious. He'd have us in stitches every time.
Keeps you on your toes. So the premiere is next Wednesday night on Citytv, 8:30 p.m. What happens when the premiere is going on? Is there a viewing party? What's the situation?
Yeah, I'm going to be out in Toronto doing the fundraiser for Sketchfest. We're going to have a big premiere party, which is going to be great. As far as here, I think a lot of people I know, my friends, are going to be having a lot of viewing parties. Yeah. Because I keep bugging them about it. But yeah.
Subtle hints on Twitter and social media. Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And good things on the horizon for you. You brought your fiance today, so
I did.
Getting married. You're growing up, baby
I know,
boy.
it's crazy. It all happened so fast. It's been a really good year. 2014 was a great year, so 2015's got a lot to live up to.
Good for you, man. Good for you. There's his Twitter handle @TimProvC.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. And enjoy the show. Really funny. Had the chance to check it out, so congrats again. Next Wednesday night, we will be there.